There are so many great keyboard players out there, but sometimes you listen to an album and it resonates with you so much that you actually change the way that you play based on the influence of that album. Here are my top 5 albums that influenced my playing. Please leave a comment letting me know what albums have influenced your playing. We'd all love to hear it. If you'd like to come on and have a chat about it, that'd be great too. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, do hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. Thank you. Now, the first 3 albums and the first 3 keyboard players I'm going to mention were actually not only keyboard players, but they were actually the lead singer of the band. So that's something to consider. The first album I'm going to talk about is Santana by the band Santana. It's released in August 1969 and was recorded at the Pacific Studio in San Mateo. Keyboard player is Gregg Rolie, Hammond and organ player as well as the lead singer. Out of all the keyboard players, I think probably his organ style had the biggest impact on me as a keyboard player. I think we tend to think of Santana as a guitar band. Of course, Carlos Santana is a brilliant guitarist, but the very first track of the very first Santana album features a Hammond, and it's Gregg playing. The first track is Waiting, and it's all about the organ sound. It's all about his Hammond sound. Absolutely fantastic. It then goes into Evil Ways. Just a great organ solo on there. If you haven't heard that, do have a listen. Gregg Rolie had a particularly percussive way of playing, which I particularly like and still use to this day, although it's slightly different from his, but he was my main influence on that. You can really hear this on the track Savor, but as well as other tracks as well. His playing certainly heavily influenced mine, and he still does. Gregg Rolie continued to have many successful years with Santana. He left to form the band Journey, which he stayed for many years as well, and then went on to have a solo career with many other bands. And he's twice inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The second album I'm going to talk about is Kansas Left Overture, released October 1976. Keyboard player Steve Walsh on piano, organ, vibes, as well as lead vocal. Now, there was another keyboard player on the album. Actually, it was a guitarist, Kerry Livgren, I think that's how you say it. Who played some synths and some clavs on the album as well. So with this album, there's just some iconic organ playing by Steve Walsh. Carry On My Wayward Son. If you listen to that track, the way in the middle section that the guitar and the organ go back and forth on those licks, absolutely fantastic. I hadn't heard anything like that before. I just loved it when I heard that. It then goes into an anthem, a rock anthem. The next track is called The Wall. So unusual to hear a rock anthem where the primary instruments are keyboards, and a tremendous sound that they have. And all the tracks on the album are really heavily keyboard orientated. So that's a great one to listen to. But it was just a really strong influence on me as a keyboard player. Now, Steve Walsh retired from Kansas in 2014. He's had a fantastic career, not only with Kansas, but as a solo artist and doing many other projects as well. Now, when I started playing on organ. So I didn't have too many piano skills, and I'm self-taught and just learned by ear. So when I went to listen to someone playing the piano, I went to listen to one person, and that was Freddy Mercury. So this album, Queen Live Killers, was so important to me when I was learning how to play. Released in 1979, recorded live during the jazz tour in March '79. Freddie's piano sound and playing on this album are absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure if you've heard this, but the early Queen stuff when Freddie was playing piano, man, that guy can play piano. Really tremendous. It's a couple of songs into the album before you hear him playing piano. And he sits down at the piano and launches into Death on Two Legs. And they go straight into Killer Queen after that. It's just great. They have a roaring rendition of Bicycle Race. He does You're My Best Friend just on the regular piano rather than on the Wurlitzer. It sounds fantastic. And then the album closes with a screw of anthems. Spread Your Wings, my favourite version of that. Got Don't Stop Me Now, Bohemian Rhapsody, and ends with a astonishing version of We Are the Champions. It's certainly an album to listen to hear Freddie play. It seems like after that, Freddie didn't play that much piano. I think in the Game was the last album where you felt he was playing piano, and after that it went to quite a lot of synths. I don't know who played the synths, but that was a difference for me when Freddie stopped playing so much piano. Freddie was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. In my opinion, Freddie's piano playing was as exciting and extraordinary as his vocals. The next album I want to talk about is Dire Straits' Love Over Gold. Released in 1982, recorded at the Power Station with the keyboard player Alan Clark. Now, this was Alan Clark's first outing with Dire Straits. Pianist, organist, playing some strings. Just lifted that whole band and complemented the wonderful work that Mark Knopfler was doing. Made such a difference to that band. The album opens with the truly beautiful Telegraph Road. Beautiful piano, strings. Just lovely. And then goes into Private Investigations. Just a fantastic track to listen to. All of the tracks on the album, absolutely fantastic. Alan Clark does a brilliant job on there. Alan Clark went on to work with numerous international artists, recording artists, and is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. The last album I'm going to talk about is Asia by Asia, released in 1982. Keyboard player, Geoff Downes. I can still remember the first time I heard Only Time Will Tell, and it was just that for me was the moment where you could just have these huge pop rock keyboard sounds that didn't sound like they were coming from a classical base. But for me, Geoff Downes came from a different place, and it was a place that I could really respond to and really resonate with, and I thoroughly enjoyed that album, and his playing I just thought was astonishing. Multiple sounds in every track, multiple keyboards in every track, just these layered sounds, using different sounds in different parts of the song. Absolutely fantastic. He's got these iconic tracks: Only Time Will Tell, Heat of the Moment, Soul Survivor, Wildest Dreams. It's a great track on that album. These are beautifully crafted keyboard parts. I didn't realise it at the time, I guess, but Geoff Downes has gone on to record many, many albums with Asia. Many beautiful albums, and I'm working my way through those still. There's just a catalogue of great songs, great tracks that he's worked on. Now, on the internet, there's a list of the keyboards he took on his first tour. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but we'll give it a go. This is what it says. It says the tour included the Yamaha CS80, the Prophet 5, the Hammond J122 organ, Yamaha CP70B, 2 Moog Mini Moogs, Fairlight Master Slave keyboards, Poly Moog, Mellotron, Prophet 10, Selena String Ensemble. I had one of those back in the day. A Clavinet D6, Rhodes electric piano, Hammond B3 organ, and the Moog Liberation. I mean, that was a big handheld one, right? John Wetton also used the Moog Taurus bass pedal unit. So a lot of keyboards on that stage. Of course, Geoff Downes has had a long and wonderful career with the supergroup Asia, as well as his career with Yes and many other projects that he's done. Fantastic keyboard player. And listening to those sounds, as I did in 1982, I was like, that's the guy. That's the guy who can play. So those are 5 albums that influenced me, that made me change the way that I play. I'd love to hear if there are albums that have made you change the way that you play, albums that have influenced you. Let me know in the comments. Send me a message on social media. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching.